Seoul, South Korea. A single minute of footage has once again shaken the foundations of global fandom culture. In that fleeting moment, Kim Taehyung and Jungkook, both members of BTS, shared what fans describe as undeniable proof of connection. The video, brief yet powerful, spread across Twitter/X, TikTok, and Weibo like wildfire. Within hours, hashtags tied to the duo, popularly known as Taehyung, dominated worldwide trends. Observers say the intensity of the response reveals not only devotion, but also the hunger for authenticity in pop culture. To many fans, the gestures captured in the clip felt too genuine to ignore. A glance exchanged, a quiet smile, a subtle movement, all dissected frame by frame. For some, it was not just fan service, but a glimpse of something deeper, unfiltered. The world paused to watch, to speculate, to believe. And in that pause, Taehyung became more than just a rumor. It became a phenomenon. HYBE Corporation, the agency behind BTS, has remained silent on the matter. That silence, far from quelling speculation, has fueled even greater debate. "Silence speaks louder than denial," wrote one cultural columnist in the Korea Herald. Fans argue that official statements are unnecessary when moments speak for themselves. Yet the absence of comment leaves space for endless interpretations, both hopeful and cynical. International media quickly picked up the story. CNN described it as a reminder of the human longing behind global superstardom. The Guardian framed the clip as proof of fandom's power to turn seconds into cultural history. Meanwhile, French daily Le Monde asked whether Taehyung represents the myth and magic of modern fandom. Even skeptics admitted, 1 minute was enough to ignite a fire across continents. Analysts say the economic impact is already visible. Streaming numbers for both Taehyung and Jungkook's solo releases spiked in the 24 hours following the clip. Merchandise sales connected to the duo reportedly surged as well, according to early retail reports in Seoul. For HYBE, even unintended buzz translates into revenue. Yet critics warn that exploiting the moment could risk backlash if fans sense manipulation. Psychologists weigh in on the emotional gravity of such clips. "These moments act as anchors for fans," explained Dr. Amanda Liu of UCLA. "They create a sense of intimacy and belonging, even if ambiguous." She notes that the bond between fans and idols is parasocial, but its intensity is real. And in Taehyung, that bond has reached global proportions. On the streets of Seoul, giant digital billboards replay fan edits of the 1-minute clip. In New York and London, fans gathered spontaneously to celebrate, treating the event like breaking news. In Tokyo, hashtags trended not only in Korean and English, but in Japanese as well. The scale of the reaction underscores BTS's role as a cultural bridge. And within that bridge, Taehyung has become the most talked about symbol. Some critics caution against over-romanticizing the moment. They argue that fandom projections risk overshadowing the artistry of both men. "Taehyung and Jungkook are musicians first," wrote a Japanese critic in Asahi Shimbun. "Reducing them to a fantasy risks ignoring their talent." Still, the counterpoint has not slowed the rising tide of enthusiasm. For ARMY, the fandom behind BTS, the moment carries deeper meaning. It is not merely about love or rumor, but about loyalty and recognition. Fans see Taehyung as proof that genuine connection exists in an industry built on performance. They argue that such glimpses remind the world of BTS's authenticity. And that authenticity, they insist, cannot be silenced. As the debate rages, HYBE's silence becomes a story in itself. Some analysts say it is a deliberate strategy, allowing mystery to sustain hype. Others warn it reflects corporate discomfort, unsure how to manage narratives beyond control. Either way, the company's refusal to comment only sharpens the intrigue. And fans continue to write their own version of the truth. What happened 1 minute ago has already entered the lore of fandom history. It may never be confirmed, denied, or explained. But it has proven the extraordinary power of small moments in the digital age. For millions, it was not just content. It was validation, inspiration, and hope. And until the silence is broken, the world will keep replaying that minute over and over again. Industry experts say the Taehyung moment reveals a double-edged sword for HYBE. On one hand, The viral buzz enhances global visibility and reinforces BTS's relevance despite their current hiatus. On the other, it raises questions about the company's ability to manage narratives it cannot control. Financial analysts point out that the event coincided with slight gains in HYBE's share price. Investors, ever sensitive to fan sentiment, see the spike in engagement as a potential driver of revenue. Yet the volatility also underscores the company's dependency on BTS, even when the group is technically inactive. In the United States, entertainment insiders speculate that the frenzy could influence future collaborations. Labels and producers are watching how a single minute dominates global discourse, said one New York-based producer. It shows that Taehyung and Jungkook together are a marketing force of their own. European observers highlight the cultural significance. German outlet Der Spiegel described the clip as a digital myth, noting how quickly it became layered with meaning, theories, and emotional projections. The French magazine Les Inrecuptibles called it proof that fandom imagination is now a central actor in pop history. In Latin America, Taehyung's resurgence has sparked community gatherings. Fans in Mexico City and Sao Paulo organized watch parties, turning a one-minute clip into an offline festival. Local sociologists note that such gatherings reflect the role of fandom as social glue in times of uncertainty. Meanwhile, policymakers in Seoul see a broader narrative. Cultural officials privately admit that the viral spread strengthens South Korea's soft power credentials. Every global headline tied to BTS reinforces Korea's cultural influence, said one official. Even controversies or rumors add to the visibility of Hallyu. However, critics within Korea warn that the constant magnification of Taehyung risks overshadowing individual artistry. Jungkook's solo album Golden and Taehyung's Layover were both global successes, yet discussion is increasingly dominated by perceived personal dynamics. Some argue this creates an imbalance between fandom mythology and actual musical output. Psychologists stress the importance of balance. For fans, moments like this create emotional highs, but also expectations that may not align with reality, explained Dr. Park Min SEO. The challenge for both idols and agencies is to manage the psychological toll of such intensity. The global spread of the Taehyung clip has also reignited debates about media ethics. Tabloids thrive on speculation, but serious outlets now face the dilemma of whether to cover fan-driven narratives as legitimate news. CNN and The Guardian chose to frame the story as cultural commentary, reflecting its undeniable impact. At HYBE headquarters, silence continues to be the strategy. Analysts are divided. Some view it as smart crisis management, others as risky avoidance. A single statement could calm or inflame the situation, noted PR strategist Jonathan Blake. But right now, the absence of clarity is writing its own story. Fans, however, show no sign of moving on. Petitions demanding transparency trend alongside celebratory hashtags. Some fan groups have even coordinated digital billboards emphasizing authenticity and connection, framing Taehyung not as rumor but as representation of BTS's enduring bond. The academic world is already documenting the episode. Universities in the US, UK, and Korea plan to analyze the Taehyung clip in courses on media, culture, and fan studies. Professors argue it provides a perfect case study on how digital communities transform fleeting content into global phenomena. Long-term, the Taehyung moment may influence how BTS is positioned after their military service. Industry insiders speculate that HYBE could capitalize on the duo's chemistry in future projects, whether through music, advertising, or carefully crafted appearances. Yet such moves would risk accusations of exploitation if handled insensitively.